If you've ever searched for grief support and felt like everything you found was clinical, outdated, or completely disconnected from what you're actually living, this channel's for you. Most grief content talks about grief. Very little speaks from inside it. I'm a therapist. I'm also a grieving mother. This is why this channel exists. So first off, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Megan Seacrest. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I'm licensed in Oklahoma and Vermont. And I see grieving parents. I decided to turn what I deemed, and what I think most people would deem, a really painful experience, the loss of our daughter, our first daughter at birth, into helping other people navigate grief, particularly parents who are navigating the death of a child. And what I found when I went and searched on YouTube, I was sitting there going, okay, I'm going to go look and see what's out there. When I thought about this channel, when I looked for grief support, what I found was a lot of theories, a lot of models, a lot of explanations. And those are helpful, don't get me wrong. But a lot of what's missing is going to be talked about here, because most of what is out there is therapy speak. It's kind of outdated frameworks that don't really reflect how grief lives in the body or in the brain. Grief isn't tidy. It's not linear. It doesn't move through predictable stages. And it changes things, changes how you think, how you feel time passing by, how you relate to your body, how you exist in the world. And when grief comes and the content that you consume around it ignores your lived experience, people are often left feeling like they're doing grief wrong, when in reality, they're doing it as a human being. We're doing the best we can, right? Most of the time. So I thought I would start off by, saying that this content exists for a lot of different reasons. One of them also being that I have sat with hundreds of grieving people now. I've also lived grief in my own body and in ways that no model out there could ever fully capture. And that matters, because when you've been inside grief, you react and you listen differently. You move more slowly. You stop trying to fix what can't be fixed. Another reason that this channel exists is because grief deserves long-form conversation. I was on Instagram the other day and I was looking at, I was scrolling, as we all do, and I saw something that said that short-form content is changing the way our brains think, and not for the better. Shocker. I know we're all shocked by that. And I thought to myself, when I was considering the idea of how to get more grief content out into the world, I realized that short form content, reels, etc., doesn't meet the need, I don't think. Because grief isn't something that you can summarize in 30 seconds. It doesn't lend itself very well to like quick tips or really neat, tidy conversations. I wish it did. I wish there was a way to be like, here's your 10-step process to grief, and then you'll be better. That's not the case, right? Grief oftentimes needs space and slowness and honesty. And short form content pushes people toward meaning making before their nervous system is ready. So here on this channel, we're not going to be rushing people's growth. We're going to let it emerge when it's possible for you. And that's going to be different for everybody. So this channel is grounded in 3 words: grief, because loss does change us, whether we would like it to or not; grit, because surviving grief takes endurance, courage, and persistence that most people will never see; and growth. Not growth in the idea of like moving on, not growth where it's like you better find the silver lining or look for the positive. Growth means learning to live with loss without abandoning yourself, without abandoning or leaving behind the love for the person who's gone. Growth doesn't mean that your grief shrinks. It means that your capacity to live expands around it. In the next video, we're going to talk about the 7 weird things that grieving brains do. Things that feel scary or make you wonder if you're losing your mind, but you're not actually losing your mind. You're not going crazy. None of them mean you're going crazy. If you're grieving, you're welcome here. You don't have to be ready. You just have to be in it.